All right, welcome out here, Wisconsin Rapids, the host side here for some Legion Wisconsin Rapids tournament baseball action here at the Wisconsin Rapids Complex. First game here tonight at the South Field here will be the Marshfield Blue Devils here. They will be the home team here in this game here this evening. The Sixers here of Stevens Point. They will be the visitors here tonight. We have our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show. They are Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. Complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you are good to go. So Stevens Point will be playing two games here today. They'll play, of course, this game here right around 5 o'clock or so is first pitch scheduled, and then they will play shortly after this first game here this evening. So a doubleheader on the docket here for the Sixers here tonight. Marshfield, on the other hand, they will play again tomorrow at 1 o'clock and then 6 o'clock. And then Sunday at 11 o'clock, it looks like.
And the home team, the Marshfield Post 54 Blue Devils. At this time, we'll announce the starting lineups.
We'll get our starting lineups here. Starting lineups, of course, brought to you by Associated Bank, where in every market they serve, Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. For the Sixers, Peyton Fleas will lead it off in center field. Matthew Ostrowski will hit second and do the catching. Number 42, Zach Richter, will hit third and play right field. Coy Karalunas will hit fourth and play first base. Number 24, Caden Weinford, hitting fifth at short. Braden Marshke, number 16, hitting sixth in left field. Number 77, Trevor Hansen, hitting seventh in the DH here today. Anthony Rachik will hit eighth and play second base. Royce Lown will hit ninth, and he'll be playing third base. Head coached by Bobby Opiel, assisted by Brian Klisch and Sean Seakosh. Switching it over to the home Marshfield Post 54 Blue Devils. Jacob Sadowska to lead it off at shortstop, number 3. Dawson Luther will hit second in center field. Aiden Cherney will hit third over at second base. Hitting cleanup is Mason Anderson over at third base. Bryce Erickson will hit fifth and play first base. Bryce Shoddy will hit sixth and do the DHing here tonight. Adam Gilbertson will hit seventh, do the catching here tonight. Tyler Cum will hit eighth. He'll be out in right field. And Peyton Weinford will hit in the 9 spot. He'll be in left field. We'll pause for our national anthem here. National anthem. Nice job there. Again, our Auto Select pregame show. They are Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. Complete auto repair services with locations in Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you're good to go. As we mentioned, tonight's starting lineups brought to you in part by Associated Bank, where in every market they serve, Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. So the Sixers, again, they'll start here with Peyton Fleece, followed by Matthew Ostrowski, Zach Richter, Coy Karolounis, Caden Weinfurter, Braden Marschke, Trevor Hansen, Anthony Rochek, and Royce Lown here for the Sixers. Again, they will be the visitor in these games. Home and away is decided by a coin flip before each game here. So the Sixers visitors in this one. Marshfield defensively, they'll have, starting in the outfield, we'll have Peyton Weinfurter out in left field. Center field, Dawson Luther. Right field, Tyler Cum. In the infield, doing the catching will be Adam Gilbertson. Bryce Erickson over at first base. Aiden Sherney over at second. Jacob Sadowska over at short. And Mason Anderson over at third base. And as we mentioned earlier, Bryce Shoddy that will be the DH here tonight for the Blue Devils here. 5:04. We are underway here again. A 5 o'clock game here for the Sixers. And again, they'll play shortly after this one. We'll have both of those here tonight. Nathan Richardson to start here. The right-hander working from the windup. Swing and a miss to Fleas. It's 0-1. So Nathan Richardson gets the ball in this one. That ball is going to be down and away, and it's going to go to 1-1. Dahl Automotive, the Dahl family of vehicles, has been earning 5-star reviews since 1911. Now, we'd like to earn your 5-star review at their new Dahl Honda and Dahl Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealerships in Stevens Point. Learn more online at dahlauto.com. So Richardson misses to Fleas inside, and it's 2-1. Richardson, that one misses inside. Hitters count now 3-1 to Fleas. Of course, Peyton, the Pacelli product, graduated the spring of 2024. Fleas swings and misses, and it goes full now. Full count offering to Fleas. The fastball, swing and a miss, and Fleas is down on strikes for the first out here. And that's the first Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here. Call Jamie Wenzel at Serve Pro for the #1 choice and clean up and restoration Serve Pro like it never happened. And that'll bring up the catcher here, number 5, Matthew Ostrowski. Breaking ball, that one in there. It's 0-1 now to Ostrowski. Matthew, the Rosholt Hornet. And that one in there for a called strike. That catches a corner. It's 0-2 now to Matthew. Zach Richter, the on-deck hitter here for Stevens Point. That ball hit over to third and playable there for Mason Anderson. So the F5 to retire Ostrowski for the second out here. And that'll bring up the right fielder here in Zach Richter. Zach typically you see primarily in right field, but of course we've seen him on the bump as well. And a base hit for Richter. So a 2-out single for Richter. And that'll give way now to Coy Karolounis in the cleanup spot here. Sporting that ever popular, becoming more and more popular anyways, that pencil bat. I don't know if that's a... I'm not going to say it, but it's definitely a number 2, I think, Braden says. That ball hit over to second, and the 4-6 fielder's choice to get Karolounis for the third out here. So a hit, no runs, no errors, a runner left We're through 1/2 inning of play. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 1. You're listening to and watching Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group. Coming up in 1 moment.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. Quality, dependable, automotive care experts you can trust in Stevens Point, Plover, and in Weston. At Auto Select, you're good to go.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
All right, we are back here. Bottom half of inning number 1. Austin Gray out on the hill, the right-hander for the Sixers here defensively. Starting in the outfield, he'll have Zach Richter out in right field, center field Peyton Flees, and left field will be Braden Marschke. Matthew Ostrowski behind the dish here doing the catching for the Sixers, and then you've got Coy Karalunas over at first. Second base tonight with Anthony Rocek, shortstop Caden Weinfurter, and Royce Lown over at third here defensively for the Sixers. And to lead things off here will be the shortstop and Jacob Sadowska. So you've got Jacob Sadowska, Dawson Luther, and Aiden Cherney, 1, 2, and 3 here. Sadowska, the lefty here. Gray working from the windup here. Austin's pitch, that one is going to miss outside, and it's 1-0 now to Sadowska. Pittsville Panther Dawson Luther over in the on-deck circle for the Blue Devils here. Ball hit over to first. Karalunas is going to take it himself, and he will get there in time. The unassisted ground out to Karalunas here for the first out. And that'll bring up the center fielder here in Dawson Luther. Of course, I know I had a chance to call a few Pittsville games here when they played the Bocelli Cardinals. Of course, Dawson, the all-time hits leader over at Pittsville. Still has a whole nother season of high school baseball in front of him, too. Gray in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 now to Luther. Gray working from the windup, the 0-1 delivery, and Dawson doing what Dawson does, and that's collecting a base hit. So Luther base hit here for the Blue Devils here, and that'll bring up the second baseman here in Aiden Cherney. So Luther able to get to second on that one. Gray working from the stretch here for the Sixers. With 1 out. And that one in there. A swing and a miss. It's 0-1 now to Cherney. Mason Anderson, the on-deck hitter here for the Sixers. Gray, with that one misses inside, and it's 1-1 now to Aiden. So Gray and Ostrowski here working together here. The 1-1 offering to Cherney. That one is in there for a called strike. Catches a corner, the off-speed pitch there. It's 1-2 now to Cherney. Stevens Point, number of games rained out here the last 7 or so days, roughly. Hopefully, a lot more games in here. Certainly, Legion season short enough as it is, but certainly when you factor in the wet weather, it certainly can make things interesting, to say the least. It's 1-2 now to Cherney, with Luther with a pretty nice lead out at second. That one is swing and a miss. And Cherney down on strikes for the second out here. And that'll bring up Mason Anderson, 2 away here for Anderson.
Baseman number 34, Mason Anderson.
Pitch here from Gray to Anderson. That one misses high. Ostrowski there to corral that here, and it's 1-0 to Mason. Bryce Erickson, the on-deck hitter here for the Blue Devils. Bottom half, inning number 1 here, scoreless. The pitch from Gray, that's going to be, and unable to corral that in, but and unable to make the play there at second. It was Rocek there, so Anderson's going to reach on the E4, I believe we'll say. And Luther gets down to third, so runners at the corner now and 2 away for the first baseman here in Bryce Erickson. Pretty decent night for some baseball, considerably cooler than it's been over the last several days here. I think around 72 or so. Fact checker here, Braden Sutter, will probably validate or unvalidate that. One of the two. It's 0-1 now to Erickson. Bryce Schotty, the on-deck hitter here for Marshfield. Marshfield post 54. The 0-1 here from Gray. And that one's going to miss, and it's going to go to 1-1 now to Erickson. That one misses away, and getting down to second on that is Anderson. So now you've got a couple of runners in scoring position here for Erickson. The 2-1 here to Erickson. That one just misses, and it's going to go a hitter's count now, 3-1 to Bryce. The 3-1 from Gray. And that one's going to miss, and it's going to go to ball 4. So a base on ball given up to Bryce Erickson to load things up for the designated hitter and Bryce Schotty.
Up adding the DH, number 9, Bryce Schotty.
So Gray comes set here. Pitch to Schotty. That one hit out into the air to Fleas. Fleas will camp out under it, make the play out in center field to retire Bryce Schotty for the third out here. So no runs come across the board, an error, 3 left on with a hit. 1 inning complete here. We're all scoreless. We will move to the second inning of play here, listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you in part from the Hofffavor Real Estate Group, bringing it back in 1 moment.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauernfeind Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
All right, we are back here. Second inning coming up here. You'll have Caden Weinfurter, Braden Marschke, and Trevor Hansen. Nathan Richardson back out on the hill for his second inning of work. And I want to swing and a miss to Weinfurt. It's 0-1. So 5, 6, and 7 here for the Sixers. Austin Gray able to work out of that bottom half of inning one with the bases loaded. That ball hit up the middle, and they're going to say that Weinfurter beat that out. Wow, what a play, though, at shortstop there. 9 times out of 10, that gets through. Sadowska laying out for it. Weinfurter lugging that one out, able to reach on that one. So the second hit here for the Sixers. And that'll bring up the left fielder here in Braden Marschke. That ball bunted. That's going to be bunted fouling. It's 0-1 now to Marschke. So Marschke hitting here in the 6th spot, followed by the designated hitter and Trevor Hansen. Richardson from the stretch. Marschke bunts that one foul, and it goes back, and it's now 0-2 to Marschke. Brian Klisch over the first base coach for the Sixers, of course, longtime head coach Bobby Oppiello down at third base. Head coach here for the Sixers. Those two guys synonymous with Stevens Point Sixers Legion baseball, I would have to think. And that one in there for a called strike. And that's the second Servpro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here today. You can call Jamie Wenzel at Servpro for the #1 choice and clean up and restoration Servpro like it never happened. So that'll bring up the designated hitter here, #7 hitter, and Trevor Hansen. 77. You don't necessarily see that number a lot in Bay. I mean, I guess maybe some, but certainly he sporting it either way. It's 1-0 to Trevor. Richardson checking back on Weinfurter there at first. The 1-0 here to Hansen. That one misses high and outside, and it's 2-0 now. Anthony Racek, the on-deck hitter here for Stevens Point. The 2-0 here on the way, and that one's going to miss outside, and it's 3-0 now to Hansen. Richardson's 3-0 pitch here to Hansen. That one right down the middle. It's 3-1 now. So it's 3-1 to Hansen. And that one in there catches the corner. It goes to full count now to Hansen. The 3-2 offering here to Hansen. That one fouled back. He'll stay alive here, remains full. I want to give thanks to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service for all of your tire and auto service needs. Look to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs is a sure thing to get back on the road. That's Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. So full count here to Hansen. From the stretch, Weinfurter on the move, and It will not matter because the base on ball given up here. So Hansen walks on that. You've got Weinfurter.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Anthony Rachek.
And that'll bring up Anthony Rachek here, the second baseman here. One away for Rachek. And if I'm not mistaken, being sort of the Pacelli guy that I tend to be, relation to legendary head coach Bob Rachek, who had a very legendary career at Stevens Point Pacelli for a number of years. Very, you think high school football coaches, you certainly have to think of Bob, no doubt. So it's 0-1 now to Rachek. That one hit pretty hard, but it's going to get foul, and it's going to go 0-2 now to Rachek. The 0-2 here to Rachek, and he will catch that one and foul it off. Remains 0-2 now to Tony. Richardson's 0-2 offering here to Rachek. Fastball, that one's going to get fouled back. A souvenir for someone. Might have reached the field behind us, not sure. So it remains 0-2 now to Anthony. Richardson taking a long look in here on the 0-2. The offering here to Rachek. That one is going to get hit foul. We're by the batting cages. Remains 0-2 now to Rachek. Royce Lown, the on-deck hitter here for Stevens Point.
Now it's back.
Okay, now take me to the pictures. We may be able to just change these.
And Rachek, that one's going to get down for a hit for Anthony. And Coach Opiola sending Weinfurt around, and he will be out at the plate, they will say. So Weinfurter. So Rachek with the base hit. And you get Hansen down to second on that one, the base hit. And it's 2 away now for Lown. You got a runner in scoring position. That one too close for me to certainly see, but the call is out there. But certainly Coach Opiola, I'm sure, going to try to get an explanation, I think, perhaps on that one, it looks like. So a couple of hits here for the Sixers. The leadoff single by Weinfurter. And, of course, a single there by Rachek, 2 away. And the third baseman here in Royce Lown. Gilbert's in there to apply the tag for the second out. Keeping this one all scoreless here. Top half inning number 2. Richardson working out of the stretch here. Couple on here for the Sixers. And that one is going to be inside, and it's 1-0. Hansen down at second with a moderate lead, we'll say. Breaking ball catches a corner, and it's 1-1 now to Royce.
Okay, make sure your scoreboard is good. I'll work on the pictures. I'm seeing it's turning off. So is it on or off right now?
That one will miss, and it's going to go now to 2-1 to Royce. Working from the stretch is Richardson. Pitch on the way. That one hit over to first, and that will be the play will be made. The F3 to retire Roy Sloan for the third and final out here. But a couple of hits for the Sixers. Couple left on, no runs, no errors. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 2. You're listening to and watching Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. Bottom 2 coming up in one moment.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
All right, we are back here. Bottom 2 coming up here. Marshfield will send up 7, 8, 9 here. Adam Gilbertson, Tyler Cum, and Peyton Weinfurter here. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Infinity Exteriors. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last. Saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. We guarantee quality that you can trust. So Austin Gray back out for his second inning of work here for Stevens Point. Ball hit on the ground over to short. Play is made, throw, and the 6-3 ground out. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Gilbertson grounds into the 6-3 ground out for the first out here. And a good play there made by Caden Weinfurter. So 1 away, and number 22 here, the 8th hitter, and Tyler Cum coming up. You've got Peyton Weinfurter on deck here for Marshfield. So a pair of Weinfurters, one representing each of these 2 teams here tonight. Gray's pitch misses high and out. It's 1-0 now to Tyler. Gray's pitch, that one will miss down low, and it's 2-0 now to Tyler. Gray going upstairs a little bit. Swing and a miss there to come. It's 2-1 now. The 2-1 offering to Tyler Cum. The goes down low, the fastball, and it's even at 2-2 now to Tyler. Tyler will step out, adjust the helmet there momentarily. Even at 2-2 here. Gray working from the windup, the pitch on the way, the 2-2 offering, and that one is in there for a called third strike. And the second out here. So the second strikeout here today for Austin Gray. 2 away, and Peyton Weinfurter. And Gray in there for called strike, fastball, and it's 0-1. So Peyton, the number 9 hitter here for the Blue Devils. The 0-1 offering, that one is in there for called strike, and it's 0-2 now to Peyton. So Austin doing a nice job working the corners here early goings. Kind of mixing pitches a little bit. The 0-2 here to Weinfurter. That one hit in the air. That's going to... Peyton Flea is going to come over to make the play there. The F8 to retire Peyton Weinfurter. So a 3-up, 3-down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on We're through 2 innings here complete out in Wisconsin Rapids. Top three coming up here in just one moment. You're listening to and watching Legion Baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group. Coming back in one moment.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
All right, we are back. Top of 3 coming up here. Stevens Point will send up 1, 2, and 3 here. So Peyton Flees, Matthew Ostrowski, and Zach Richter. Peyton Flees 0 for 1 here tonight. Struck out back in the first. Richardson back out for his 3rd inning of work. That ball hit pretty well out to center field, going back on it. And a nice play there made. A little, maybe say, hey, Willie Mays Hayes there to track that one down. That was Dawson Luther doing, like we said, Dawson Luther type things out in center field. 1 away for Matthew Ostrowski. Matthew 0 for 1 here today. He flew out to 3rd base back in the first. So Flees gives that one a ride, but Luther able to make the nice over-the-shoulder catch there, and it's 1-0 now to Ostrowski. Breaking ball in there, and it's 1-1 now to Matthew. And that one's going to miss outside, and it's going to go now to 2-1 to Matthew. The 2-1 offering to Ostrowski. That one hit in the air. That's going to stay in play, and the play made there, the F2 to retire Ostrowski for the 2nd out here. That was Adam Gilbertson corralling that one in for the 2nd out. So a couple of quick outs here for the Sixers. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Zach Richter. Zach 1 for 1 here tonight, singled back in the first. Had that 2-out base hit. And Richardson fastball in there. It's 0-1. The 0-1 offering here, that's going to miss down low, and it's going to go now to 1-1. Coy Karalunas, the on-deck hitter here for the Sixers. Breaking ball hit out to Luther. He'll range to his left and make the play for the 3rd and final out. So the F8 to retire Zach Richter. 3 up, 3 down inning here. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on here. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 3. Or listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group. Bottom 3 coming up in just one moment.
Imagine if your orthopedic clinic, surgery center, and physical therapy were all in one place with one team. At Stevens Point Orthopedics, you'll have a clinic where a friendly voice always answers your call. If you need further care, it's a short walk to meet our surgery center team, or down the hall to meet a group of our physical therapists. There is one space and one team for the best orthopedic care in central Wisconsin. That's Stevens Point Orthopedics, world-class treatment and hometown care.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
All right, we are back here. So the Blue Devils will send up 1, 2, and 3. Jacob Sadowska, Dawson Luther, and Aiden Cherney. Sadowska grounded into the unassisted ground out over to first base back in the first. So Austin Gray out for his third inning of work. Working from the stretch. Both pitchers pretty darn efficient here early goings. Bottom half of inning number 3. This one's sailing along moderately quick, we'll say. You'll have that just the 4 hits between the two teams here today. It's 2-0 now to Sadowska. Again, Jacob 0 for 1 here today. Gray's pitch, that one fouled back, and it's going out to 2-1 to Sadowska. The dangerous Dawson Luther on deck for Marshfield. Dangerous Dawson. I don't know if that's been, that's kind of might be my thing. That one misses high. It's going to go a hitter's count, 3-1 now to Sadowska. So Austin Gray, just the 1 hit surrendered here thus far. His fastball will miss outside, and Sadowska will reach on the base on ball here. Just the second walk here for Austin here. That'll bring up Dawson Luther again. 1 for 1 here in this game. Had that single back in the first. And eventually was able to get to second on that heads-up base running. Great, keeping a close, watchful eye on Sadowska. Sadowska on the move. There'll be a throw down from Ostrowski and a stolen base for Sadowska. And it's 1-0 now to Luther. So runner in scoring position now here for the Blue Devils. Sadowska with a pretty good lead over at second there. That one is going to get in there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. So the 1-1 here to Luther. That one's going to get down, and Ostrowski will not have a throw, and Sadowska going to go to third on that one. Gray working here out of the stretch here for the Sixers. The 2-1 offering here to Luther. That one is swing and a miss. So it's even at 2-2 now. Marshfield looking to be the first on the scoreboard here tonight. Still nobody out here. The 2-2 offering from Gray. That one's going to get lined foul over towards those cages over there out in just beyond left field there. Remains 2-2. The 2-2 from Gray. Off speed, misses high and outside. It's going to go full now. The 3-2 pitch coming up here from Austin Gray. Pitch on the way. Fastball, that's going to miss. And the second consecutive walk here. So Luther aboard now. Runners at the corner. Still nobody out here. And Aiden Cherney coming up here. Coach Opiola out to say a few words. We'll keep it right here. And if there is a change, which I don't believe there will be, but you never know, then we would certainly go to commercial here. But Marshfield mounting a threat here with runners at the corner. You've got Cherney coming up. Aiden Cherney 0 for 1 here today. Certainly want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, Cheese Pleasers. Cheese Pleasers in Bancroft is a local hidden gem filled with all the finest cheeses, snack sticks, cheese curds, and cheese trays. For Wisconsin's finest cheese, stop at Cheese Pleasers right off I-39 in Bancroft. So, Coach Opiola, the mound visit there to his right-hander, Austin Gray. Again, Cherney 0 for 1 here today. Struck out back in the first. And a pretty nice jump there, the stolen base for the speedy Dawson Luther now. So you've got a couple of runners in scoring position. It's 0-1 now to Cherney. Outfield depth. And the missed throw over to third. So the first run's going to come across here for the Blue Devils, and that's Sadowska. So Gray checking on Sadowska there, and that'll allow Luther to get down to third now. Still nobody out.
Keep it there, please. Keep it on wire. Waiting for the scoreboard operator up there to score. Because he still got us at the top of the inning. No, it's not about
The 0-1 from Gray. That one just missed. So it's going to go in 1-1 now to Cherney. It's 1-0 Marshfield. They strike first here. Bottom half of inning number 3 here. Gray's pitch. That one hit on the ground over to Weinfurter. He'll glove it, throw it over, and the first out there, but a run will come across. So the 6-3 ground out for Cherney, the RBI 6-3. So Luther, the second run here for the Blue Devils, one away, and Mason Anderson coming up, 0 for 1 here today, reached on the E4 back in the first. Gray catches the corner, and it's 0-1 to Anderson. Base is clear now. Sixers get that out, though. That one's going to get by, and that's going to go now to 1-1 to Anderson. Want to give thanks to the Whitetail Properties Real Estate. They are your premier hunting land, farmland, and recreational land broker. If you're looking to buy or sell, Central Wisconsin agents are Brian and Evan Roosh at whitetailproperties.com. Gray misses outside, and it goes now to 2-1. So 2-1 to Anderson. That one hit, and that is snapped over at first base there. Nice play there. The wherewithal there by Coy Karelunas there. So lines out to Karelunas for the second out.
Number 11, Bryce Erickson.
And 2 away now for Bryce Erickson. He walked in his first plate appearance back in the first. Gray's pitch misses outside and low, and it's 1-0. Bryce Shoddy, the on-deck hitter here for Marshfield. Game time temperature when we started about 72 or so. That ball should be playable, and Gray unable to corral that one in foul territory. That one kind of got caught up into the jet stream maybe a little bit, swirling up there a little bit right above the Sherrill Tire and the store logo there. It's 1-1 now to Erickson. Of course, Stevens Point, they will be in action shortly after this game here. So the 2-game set here, and then they'll have a 2-game set tomorrow. They'll play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Against the Double Days of Appleton, and then they'll have Menominee tomorrow at 3:30. Gray, a swing and a miss to Erickson, and it's 1-2. The 1-2, and that's a swing and a miss, and Gray retiring Bryce Erickson for the third and final out here. But Marshfield strikes first, a couple runs here. And we'll move to the fourth inning of play here. So Marshfield out front here, 2-0. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hofffavor Real Estate Group. Fourth inning coming up in just one moment.
For the best food in town, look no further than Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. This locally owned, 50s-themed diner loves to support their community while providing a full menu of breakfast and lunch options, along with all-day breakfasts and Friday fish fry. Enjoy a fun, family atmosphere with delicious meals made from scratch, including skillets and tasty burgers. Dine in or take out is welcome, Mondays through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Treat yourself to a mouth-watering experience at the Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
All right, we are back here. 4, 5, and 6 here for the Sixers. Coy Karalunas here. Coy 0 for 1 here tonight. He reached on that 4-6 fielder's choice back in the first. It's 1-0 now to Coy. Richardson back out for his fourth inning of work here for the Blue Devils. So Coy up in the count now, 2-0. Caden Weinfurter over in the on-deck area here for Stevens Point. That one hit over to second. And the 4-3 ground out to retire Coy Karalunas for the first out here. And that was Aiden Cherney over to Bryce Erickson to get out number 1 here, and that'll bring up Caden Weinfurter. Caden singled back in the second, so 1 for 1 here tonight. Richardson that one had some movement on it. I don't know if that was a, sometimes you refer to it as a sweeper maybe, Braden, possibly. He's going to nod and say, yeah, that one hit out into right field, and camping out under it is Tyler Cum there to retire Caden Weinfurter for the second out here. So the F9. And that'll bring up the left fielder and Braden Marshke. Braden 0 for 1 tonight, struck out back in the second. Both pitchers around 50 pitches, not quite that ball, and that's going to be a base hit for Marshke. So Marshke with a 2-out single. Just outside of the reach there of Cherney there. Trying to go up the ladder to try to make that play, just outside of his grasp. And that'll bring up Trevor Hansen. Trevor Hansen walked in his first plate appearance back in the second. Richardson from the stretch, the pitch, that one in there, and it's 0-1. Old 77 there. That one in there for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 now to Hansen. Richardson keeping a close, watchful eye on Marshke there. That one misses high. It's 1-2 now. Closing in on the 6 o'clock hour here. Marshke on the run, pitch down there, and Marshke is in there with a stolen base. Sliding head first is Braden Marshke. It's even at 2-2 now to Hansen. pitch did not miss by much, but either way, it's 2-2. Marshke at second, so a runner in scoring position now for the Sixers. That one fouled back into the netting, and it remains 2-2 to Hansen. You've got Anthony Racek, the on-deck hitter for Stevens Point. You'd have to think a hit. Real decent odds of scoring that first run. That ball hit out and coming over to make the play there in left field. So the F7 to get Hansen, but Sixers do get a hit. They leave a runner on. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 4. You're listening to and watching Legion Baseball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group. Bottom 4 coming up in one moment.
Meda Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom-decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Meda Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at medacustom.com.
The Auto Service Specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Little Scholars Childcare. Little Scholars and Little Scholars Beginnings are two beautiful childcare and preschools in Stevens Point. Offering early child learning for infants through 4K, you'll find great facilities and a comfortable environment to help your child grow. Visit littlescholars.com. Austin Gray out for his 4th inning of work here for Stevens Point. That one grounded over to first, the unassisted ground out there to retire Bryce Shoddy for the first out here. And that'll bring up the catcher here in Adam Gilbertson. Adam 0 for 1 here today, grounded to short back in the second. So Gray with that quick 1 out here. And that one misses high and outside, and it's 1-0 to Gilbertson. That was Coy Karalunas over there to make that unassisted play there for the Sixers. As we mentioned, both pitchers hovering around that 50-ish pitches. That one's going to get fouled and out of play, and it's 1-1 now to Gilbertson. And I would say for the most part, both pitchers have pitched pretty well for the most part, I would say. Fairly efficient pitching effort here from both Austin Gray and Nathan Richardson. The 1-1 here to Gilbertson. That one's fouled back, and it's Gray up in the count now, 1-2. I want to give thanks to Nicolay Bank. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking at its best. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill, or learn more at nicolaybank.com. 1-2 here to Gilbertson. And that one's going to just miss a little bit down low, and it's even at 2-2 now to Adam. Tyler Cum, the on-deck hitter here for Marshfield. 2-0 our score here, bottom half inning number 4. Marshfield, of course, with that 2-0 lead. A lot of baseball left, though. It's full count now to Gilbertson. A much brisker night than just 1 week ago. The tale of 2 weeks, we'd say. Full count, that one's going to miss down, and it's going to generate a 1-out walk to Gilbertson. And that'll bring up the right fielder and Tyler Cum. Tyler 0 for 1 here tonight. He struck out looking back in the second. We're going to get a courtesy runner. That looks to be Mac Konichny. Marshfield Columbus Catholic product there, Mac. Of course, you've got Emmett Konichny. Name synonymous with Marshfield Columbus Athletics. So Gray working from the stretch. The pitch, that one fouled out of play by Cum. It's 0-1. Peyton Weinfurter awaiting over on deck for the Blue Devils. And Konechny on the move. That one's going to get out of play, so Mack will retreat back to first. Had a pretty nice jump. Nice lead over at first for Mack. Gray from the stretch, the 0-2. That'll miss high, and it's 1-2 now to Tyler. So as we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, Marshfield by way of the coin flip, the home team in this one. That ball hit in the hole. That'll be a base hit. So Tyler Cum with a 1-out single. Gilbertson gets down to second on that one. That'll bring up the left fielder and number 1, Peyton Weinfurter. Peyton 0 for 1 here tonight. He flew out to center field back in the second. Gray looking to try to limit the runs here for Marshfield. And that one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Gray will step off there. Sensed a disturbance maybe in the force perhaps with Gilbertson over at second. Breaking ball, that one's going to be fouled and out of play, and it's going to go 0-2 now to Weinfurter. Yeah, so Stevens Point, Kaukauna, the nightcap in this one here out at the south field. The 0-2 offering from Gray to Weinfurter. That one's going to miss. And both runners will stay put. Matthew Ostrowski doing a nice job trying to keep that one, limiting both base runners from advancing here. In a 2-0 type game, base runners certainly at a premium. Pitch on the way, that one will miss inside, and it's even at 2-2 now to Weinfurter. You've got Gilbertson, beg your pardon, that's Konechny down at second. That ball fouled back, and it remains 2-2. So Tyler Cum down at first. Mack Konechny down at second. Just the 1 out here, and the 2-2 count here coming up to Weinfurter. Breaking ball hit right over to Gray. He'll go to second and the double play. So the wherewithal there by Austin Gray to double up. And a hit comes through though, but no runs. A couple runners left on here. We'll move to the 5th inning here. Marshfield out front here 2-0. 5th inning coming up. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. 5th inning coming up in just one moment.
I got referred to the orthodontist and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here and he was very happy with the smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointments, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Home Furniture. Fill your home with the best from home furniture, sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. Home Furniture with locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and on Post Road in Plover. Also brought to you tonight in part by Ridgetop Exteriors. Just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. So Nathan Richardson back out for his 5th inning of work. 8-9-1 here for the Sixers. It's Anthony Rochek, 1 for 1 here tonight. Singled back in the 2nd. Breaking ball, Rochek out in front. It's pitch to Rochek. That one misses. So 2-0 our score here. Marshfield out front. Top half of inning number 5. Off-speed pitch misses inside. A little bit high to Rochek. Breaking ball. That one skips away here. So Rochek, the 1 for 1 here tonight. Richardson's pitch on the way. That's going to miss. And Anthony Rochek with a leadoff walk. And he'll give way now to Royce Lone. Royce 0 for 1 here today. He flew out to first base back in the 2nd here.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 52, Royce Lone.
Richardson now working out of the stretch. Rochek on the move. There'll be a throw down to 2nd, and Rochek will be in there safely with a stolen base. So it's 0-1 now to Royce. Sixers with a runner in scoring position here. Royce showing bunt. Bunt down to first. They'll tag Royce. And that represents the first out here. That brings up Peyton Flees. Peyton 0 for 2 here tonight. Flew out to center back in the 3rd. Recall gave that one a ride out to center, but Dawson Luther out there to make that nice play out in center field. That one misses outside, and it's 1-0 to Flees. (1-0) here to Flees. That one's going to miss inside, and it's 2-0. I want to give thanks to Stevens Point Orthopedics. They are proud to provide complimentary sports physicals to Central Wisconsin athletes this summer. Call 715-344-071 to schedule your appointment. That's 715-344-0701. So Flees, the swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Richardson set the pitch. That one. So Flees goes to 2-2 now. Richardson's 2-2 pitch. That one misses down low, and Peyton, full count coming up. Just the one out here with Racek down at second here still. Top half, inning number 5 here in Wisconsin Rapids. The full count. That ball hit, and that is gone. And Peyton Flees with a 2-run home run. And I have a feeling he had a sense that was gone as soon as he hit that. That ball hit on the screws, the 2-run shot for Flees. And coming in is Peyton Flees, the 2-run home run. So Racek score. We're all knotted up at 2 apiece here. So Flees hit that one on the screws. I'm going to say that was probably about 367.5, we'll say. Roughly, give or take. So we'll keep it right here. Mound visit here for Marshfield. If there is a change of pitcher, certainly we'll break for a commercial pause. But Peyton Flees knotting this one up here at 2 apiece. And Matthew Ostrowski coming up here. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors here tonight, one of them being the Rock and Roll Cafe. Find a great variety of breakfast options at the Rock and Roll Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, Friday fish fry, and service with a smile. Open daily for breakfast and lunch only on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. So Ostrowski up 0 for 2 here tonight. He flew out to the catcher back in the 3rd and then line to 3rd back in the 1st. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 now to Matthew. The 0-1 here, that one chopped foul. Coach Obiol barehanding it there, showing that he, in fact, still has what it takes to make that play over there. It is 0-2 now to Ostrowski. Making it look easy over there was Coach. And that one in there for a called strike, and that is the second out here. That's a Serpro Jamie Wenzel strikeout here for Nathan Richardson. Again, you can call Jamie Wenzel at Serpro for the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration Serpro like it never happened. And Zach Richter 1 for 2 here tonight. Speed in there. It's 0-1 now to Richter. Zach flew out to center field back in the 3rd and singled back in the 1st. Breaking ball. That one is in there, and a nice pitch at that. It's quickly 0-2 now to Richter. That one hit out into center field over to Luther. He'll give chase to that and make the play out in center field. The F8 to retire Zach Richter, but not before the Sixers come across with a couple of runs here on the 2-run blast by Peyton Flees. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 5. You are listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. Bottom 5 coming up in 1 moment.
Doctor basically said, you're going to be in a wheelchair and walking with a walker. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's my life. That's my life story. I looked around on the internet and I found Shai at Next Step Prosthetics. And I came in and met with him, and I felt so comfortable here, so unfearful. He said, we're going to get you up and walking.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Fleet Farm. No matter what your everyday life looks like, Fleet Farm has you covered at the best prices guaranteed. Auto, pet, bird, farm, snacks. Fleet Farm has everything you need at all the lowest prices. So Austin Gray back out for his 5th inning of work. 1, 2, and 3 here for Marshfield. Jacob Sadowska. Jacob 0 for 1 here tonight. Grounded into the unassisted ground out over to first back in the first. Walked, stole a base, and scored a run back in the third. And it's 2-0 now to Sadowska. All knotted up here at 2 apiece. Sadowska fouls that one back. Marshfield with the Stevens Point with the hit advantage. But all even up here in terms of the runs here. Fleas coming in to make the play, and that's Peyton Fleas diving out for it to retire Sadowska for the first out. So nice play there by Peyton Fleas. Shedding his hat and all. And this will bring up Dawson Luther 1 for 1 tonight. Walked, scored a run, stole a base. He singled back in the first. And that one hit over to Weinford at short. He'll glove it and make the play there. And the 6-3 ground out. Weinfurter over to Karolinus. The 6-3 ground out, 2 away now. So a couple of quick outs here, and Aiden Cherney coming up. He's 0 for 1 here tonight. Beg your pardon, 0 for 2. Had that RBI 6-3 back in the ground up back in the third. Gray going with the off speed, and it's 0-1 now to Cherney. 7 hits between the two teams here. That ball hit out into left field. Going back on it and unable to make the play out in left field. And that ball continued to carry, I believe, probably be a, would think a hit. Yeah. That ball was hit pretty darn well by Cherney. So the 2-out double there for Cherney. And that brings up Mason Anderson. Mason 0 for 2 here tonight. Lined out to first back in the third, and then reached on the E4 back in the first. Marshfield with a runner in scoring position now. Gray works from the stretch. The pitch, that one misses high and in. It's 1-0 now to Anderson. That one just misses, and it's 2-0 to Anderson. So the pitch count nearly identical for both Richardson and Gray here. That one's going to miss high, and it's going to go 3-0 now to Anderson. Pitchers in that 75 and 73 in terms of pitch count here in the 5th through 5. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 3-1 now. Hitters count to Mason Anderson. That ball hit, that's going to get through, and that'll be a hit, and that will score a run. So the RBI there for Anderson. So Marshfield back out in front now.
Number 11, Bryce Erickson.
So a 2-out RBI single there for Anderson. That'll bring up Bryce Erickson 0 for 1 here tonight. Struck out back in the third, walked back in the first. Gray working from the stretch to Erickson. Pitch that one, hit out to Fleas in center field. Sheds the hat, makes the play. And the final out here to retire Erickson on the F3 here. So 5 innings are in the books here. Marshfield back out front here, 3-2. 6th inning coming up here in just one moment. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. 6th inning coming up in one moment.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
Shuda Funeral Home in Stevens Point and Plover is your local, family-owned and operated funeral home providing families with compassionate, individualized, and affordable services when you need it most. The loss of a loved one is a difficult fact of life that Shuda Funeral Home will ensure you won't have to face alone. Shuda Funeral Home will guide you through the process from in-person visitations to creating obituaries and tributes. Pre-planning can also be a great way to ease these topics for your family. Learn more at shudafuneral.com or bring your questions and stop in.
All right, we are back. Coy Karalunas here, followed by Caden Weinford or Braden Marschke. So 4, 5, and 6 here for the Sixers. Nathan Richardson back out for his 6th inning of work here for the Blue Devils. Count goes to 2-0 now to Coy. Marshfield back out in the lead here, 3-2, and that RBI from Mason Anderson in there. Bottom half of inning number 5. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Coy 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded to second back in the 4th. That's a swing and a miss. And then hit into that 4-6 fielder's choice back in the 1st. Count even at 2-2 now to Coy. That one's going to get fouled and gets a piece of Coy, so it'll remain 2-2. Top half of inning number 6 out here in Wisconsin Rapids for this American Legion tournament here, this 27th day of June. Hard to believe that we're already that far into June. Ball given a ride out into left field, but the play is going to be made out in left field. That's Peyton Weinfurter to make the play there, and Karalunas for the first out. So the F7 to retire Karalunas. And that'll bring up Caden Weinfurter, the shortstop. Caden 1 for 2 tonight. Flew out to right field back in the 4th. Had that single back in the 2nd. Breaking ball in there, and it's 0-1 now to Caden. The 0-1 offering here to Weinfurter. That ball hit out to Luther in center. He'll make the play out there for the second out. So the fly out to center, the F8 for out number 2. And that'll bring up the left fielder here in Braden Marschke. Braden is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and stole a base back in the 4th. And struck out back in the 2nd. Richardson working from the windup. That one misses inside. It's 1-0. Trevor Hansen, the on-deck hitter for the Sixers. That one's going to get outside, and it's going to go now to 2-0. And that one should get out of play and foul there, and it does. So it'll go 2-1 down to Marschke. I want to give thanks to Maida Custom. Maida Custom Apparel specializes in providing quality decorated apparel, including from corporate casual team uniforms and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. Find just what you need to keep you looking great. Learn more at MaidaCustom.com. That's MaidaCustom.com. So it's 2-1 now to Marschke. Richardson's 2-1 offering. That one lifted into the air and coming over to make the play, and that's going to get down. Perhaps that ball was kind of hit into kind of no man's land, I'll say. I mean, both the shortstop and left fielder converging on that one. So that'll be a hit for Marschke. So his second hit here tonight. And then it'll bring up Trevor Hansen. 0 for 1 here tonight. Flew out to left field back in the fourth. Walked back in the second. And that one paints the corner there, and it's 0-1 to Hansen. Richardson keeping an eye over there on Braden Marschke. Braden with the 2-hit night. Fastball in there. It's 0-2 now to Hansen. So Stevens Point will play Kaukauna after this one here, right here out at the south field. And Hansen down on strikes. Or the third out, and that's a Serb-Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout. A hit, a runner left on, no errors, no runs here. Will move to the bottom half of inning number 6. Marshfield out front here 3-2. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. Bottom 6 coming up in just one moment.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
All right, we are back. Austin Gray back out for the 6th inning of work here for the Sixers. 6, 7, and 8 here for Marshfield. That's Bryce Shoddy. Bryce 0 for 2 here tonight. Hit into the unassisted ground out over to first back in the 4th. And then they fly out to center back in the 1st. That one is going to a good play there made, but that'll be a hit for Shoddy. Certainly a valiant effort there by Anthony Racek there at second. So Shoddy aboard with a leadoff single here in this bottom half of inning number 6. That brings up the catcher here in Adam Gilbertson, 0 for 1 here tonight. Grounded to short back in the 2nd, walked back in the 4th. Gray's off-speed pitch misses high, and it's 1-0. So Shoddy aboard at first. Marshfield clinging to that 3-2 lead here. Somewhat late goings in this bottom portion of inning number 6 here. It's 2-0 now to Gilbertson. That one hit, and that's going to get nearly Royce able to nearly track that one down in foul territory. Making a good effort nonetheless. It's 2-1 now to Gilbertson. So Marshfield, as we mentioned, they will be back in action tomorrow at 1 o'clock. A 1 o'clock date with Heartland, and then they'll play the double days of Appleton tomorrow at 6. Gray's pitch, that one hit out into right field. That'll be down for, and extra bases here. So a double there for Adam Gilbertson. So Shoddy gets down to third now. You've got a pair of runners in scoring position, nobody out, and Tyler Cum coming up now here for the Blue Devils.
Number 22, Tyler Cum.
And head coach Bobby Opiola coming out here for a mound visit, and I suspect that may be it for Austin Gray. I don't necessarily know that for sure, but have to think. Possibly, maybe not. We'll stay right here either way. So Marshfield clinging to that one-run lead here, 3-2, a couple runners in scoring position. Certainly want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors here tonight, one of them being Shuta Funeral Home. Shuta Funeral Services in Stevens Point and Plover is here to help you with all of your funeral needs with 2 convenient locations in a personal local touch. Let their experienced staff serve your family. Learn more at shutafuneral.com. That's shutafuneral.com. So Austin Gray will stay out there, hovering around 84, 85 pitches or so here. Couple of runners on with Shoddy down at third, Gilbertson down at second. Tyler Cum again, 1 for 2 here tonight. Gray works from the stretch. That one behind Cum, and it's 1-0. So Marshfield looking to try to add to that 1-run lead. And the fastball in there to Cum, and it's 1-1. And Gray just misses that one, and it's going to go to 2-1 now to Tyler. Still nobody out here in this bottom half of inning number 6. Gray working from the stretch, the pitch, and we'll check to see if he went. They'll say he was able to hold his swing, so it's going to go now to 3-1. So hitters count here for Tyler Cum. Peyton Weinfurter, the on-deck hitter here for the Blue Devils. The 3-1 pitch here from Gray. That one, and that's going to be hit out into left field. A run will come across. And that's an RBI for Tyler Cum. And his second hit here tonight. So Shoddy scores on that one. Gilbertson goes to third, and that'll be a night here for Austin Gray here. He will exit here with nobody out here in the bottom half of inning number 6. We'll take a brief commercial pause and bring it right back. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. New pitcher in 1 moment. We'll be here to tell you all about him. 1 moment.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
All right, we are back here. New pitcher here for the Sixers. It looks like that is right-hander Tyler Cluck. in relief here of Austin Gray. Austin goes the 5+ innings here for the Sixers. Marshfield now with a 4-2 lead here. Still nobody out here in this bottom half of inning number 6 here. And Peyton Weinfurter followed by the top of the order with Sadowska and Dawson Luther. You've got runners at the corner here with Gilbertson over at third and Come down at first. So again, Tyler Cluck in relief here of Austin Gray. Marshfield now not only owns the advantage in the run column, but also the hit column, 7-6. That ball hit over to short and throws across the diamond, and that will be not enough for the very speedy Weinfurter, who will have the infield RBI single there. Gilbertson scores. Beg your pardon, Gilbertson third. And that one's going to miss high, and it's 1-0. Bases loaded here, 4-2 our score. Jacob Sadowska here. And that's going to get over, and that should score at least 1 run. And 2 runs going to come in to score here, so Gilbertson and Cum will score here. Weinfurter down to second, and a hit for Sadowska. 2 RBI single there. And that'll bring up Dawson Luther. 1 for 2 here tonight. He singled back in the first. That one's fouled off here. So Marshfield with the 3 runs here in this frame. Still nobody out here. And again, as we mentioned, Dawson Luther 1 for 2. Walked, scored a run back in the third. Had that single back in the first, and then the 6-3 ground out back in the fifth. The 1-1 offering to Luther. And Dawson fouling that one back. Both runners were on the move. They'll retreat back. Today's game brought to you by Blinds and Designs by Kelly, Premier Auto Body, Dahl Automotive, Stevens Point Brewery, Lee Ayers Jewelers, Point Heating and Cooling, and Portesi Pizza. The 1-2 here to Luther. That one slapped over to third, and looks like he'll be in there. Just we'll say E5 on that. So that'll load things up here now. Still nobody out here, and that brings up Aiden Cherney. Aiden had the double back in the fifth. 1 for 3 here tonight with a run scored. Cluck, breaking ball, and a nice one, and it's 0-1. Tyler trying to look to sort of limit the damage here in this 6th inning here. Cherney swinging and missing. It's 0-2 now to Aiden here. Cluck working from the stretch, the pitch. Breaking ball, good stop there by Ostrowski. It's 1-2. Mason Anderson, the on-deck hitter here for the Blue Devils. We're in the bottom of the 6th here. Stevens Point trying to get out of this half inning. That one, and they'll say that Cherney hit by a pitch there. So that'll bring another run across here. That'll bring up Mason Anderson. Had that RBI single back in the 5th. Lined out to first back in the 3rd, and then reached on the E4 back in the 1st. So 1 for 3 here tonight. Cluck's pitch, fastball. It's in there. It's 0-1. So Mason, the cleanup hitter here for the Blue Devils. That ball going to get fouled back, and it's going to go now to 0-2 to Anderson. So Marshfield, after tonight, they'll have a couple tomorrow, and then one on Sunday morning. Stevens Point will play probably within about a half hour or so after the conclusion of this one, and that will be a hit by pitch, so Anderson will reach on the hit by pitch. Sadowski to score that one, and Luther down to 3rd and Cherney down to 2nd. And that'll bring up Bryce Erickson. 0 for 2 here tonight. Flew out to center back in the 5th. Struck out back in the 3rd and walked back in the 1st. And that one misses outside Erickson. It's 1-0. Cluck working from the stretch here for the Sixers. Still nobody out here in this. And that ball hit over to 3rd, and that's going to get a run across here. So Luther will score on that.
Now batting the DH, number 9, Bryce Shoddy.
So Bryce Shoddy, who led this half inning off, back had that single and run scored here, did Bryce. Hit in the air, that is going to be trouble, and a run will come across, and a second run will come across here. And Cherney, Anderson scoring on that one. Erickson gets down to all right, so it's 11-2 here, so still nobody out here in this bottom half of inning number 6 here. Adam Gilbertson now. So Gilbertson 1 for 2 here tonight. Doubled, scored a run, walked, and grounded into the grounded to short back in the 2nd. Cluck catching the outside corner. It's 0-1 now to Gilbertson. Still nobody out here. Cluck's pitch, that one. Royce giving chase to it. He'll make the play in foul territory, will Royce. So that'll be the first out here to retire Gilbertson for the F5. Tyler Cum, 2 for 3 here tonight. RBI singled and the run scored back in the 6th. Of course, he singled back in the 4th, struck out looking back in the 2nd. So a 2 for 3 night here for Tyler. Breaking ball misses down low, and it's 1-0 here to come. Cluck's 1-0. Fastball is in there. It's 1-1 now. Couple of runners in scoring position here. ball hit, and that's going to get foul, and it's going to go 1-2 now to Tyler. As we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, Point will have Kaukauna in this next one, and then a couple tomorrow, pair tomorrow, in fact. The double days of Appleton and then Menominee at 3:30. That one fouled back. It remains 1-2 now to Tyler Cum. Cluck working from the stretch here. The 1-2 offering a breaking ball and a pretty nice one and a swing and a miss. And the second out here. So Tyler Cum down on strikes. And that'll bring up Peyton Weinfurter. Peyton 1 for 3 tonight. RBI single back in this half inning, in fact. Scored a run as well. Cluck in there with a called strike. Couple of nice curveballs by the old right-hander there, Tyler Cluck. It's 0-1. And that one's going to get past, and run's going to come across to score, and that's that will be a final out here by way of the 10-run rule here. So Marshfield with the 12-2 victory here. Most of that damage coming here in the 6th inning. Here we'll bring it right back here. We'll have our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. I'll wrap things up here. Just go through a few items here. Of course, Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll bring it right back here in just a few moments. We'll wrap things up here. Stevens Point will then have another game against Kaukauna. We'll have that one as well. Bringing it right back here. You're listening to and watching American Legion Baseball here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. We'll bring it back here to put a bow on this one in just one moment.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fury, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freire, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
All right, we are back here again. A final out here. The first game here for the Sixers here of Stevens Point. They fall here 12-2 at the hands of the Blue Devils here of Marshfield. Marshfield will be back in action now. They'll play again tomorrow. They'll have a pair of games, in fact, tomorrow. They'll, I believe, 1 o'clock against Heartland, and then they'll play the Double Days of Appleton at 6 o'clock. If my handwriting is correct, I think I got that correct. Stevens Point, meanwhile, they'll be back in action probably in about 40 minutes or so, roughly. That'll be a 7:30 first pitch. We'll have that game on Zaleski Sports, obviously, here. We'll stay right here. It'll be on a new stream, however, so this stream will end here, and then we'll have a new separate stream. And, again, that first pitch, roughly about 7:30 or so, give or take. So, again, a final out here. We'll wrap this up here. Again, our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. A final again here. Marshfield 12, Stevens Point 2. We'll wrap this one up here. We'll take a pause. We'll have a new stream here back in about 40 minutes or so. Have a good rest of your evening, everyone. See you hopefully back in about 40 minutes.